Guys, we are talking mobile home park investing tonight. So I'm streaming on all the great spots, Facebook, LinkedIn, and most importantly, Instagram and YouTube. When I said most importantly, I meant YouTube. But hey guys, jump over to mariodatillo.tv and watch this live and actually chat live with me there. I cannot see your comments when you're doing it from Instagram or doing it from some of the other platforms. So connect with me over at mariodatillo.tv and live chat with me. Looking at a couple different cameras here, so bear with me. But all right, so let's get into this tonight. What I want to make sure is that we get into a lot of good content so you guys can go out and take action and buy some mobile home parks and make some good investments. So hopefully you guys are having a good night. I just got home from a super hard workout, doing some Muay Thai classes with my brother. And for whatever reason, I like getting on. What's up, Visionary Focus? Good to see you. Welcome. Jump over to mariodatillo.tv and chat with me live, man. That'd be great. All right. So like I said, taking some Muay Thai classes, just got the crap beaten out of me today. Just did literally 800 kicks straight. 800 kicks straight. So for about an hour, I was kicking a bag or kicking pads, which is just very tiring. So if I seem a little bit slow tonight, that's probably why. All right, so let's jump into this. Jump over to mariodatillo.tv and subscribe over there while you're at it, but make sure to chat with me. Oh, let's see here. We got a comment coming in. What's up, Steve? Man, good to see you. Long time no see. We go back a long time. I think you're still up in North Dakota. Hopefully everything's going good for you. But stick around, man. Love to chat with you. Jump over to mariodatillo.tv, guys. Chat with me live over there, like Steve just did, and superstar. Love to talk to you. All right, so let's get into this a little bit. Right now, we are investing in mobile home parks and a little bit of self-storage, which many of you already know that because I just pump a ton of stuff out on social media. Hey guys, welcome. Jump over to mariodatillo.tv and make sure to drop your questions in the chat over there, and I can see them and communicate with you, and we can answer questions. I'd love to talk mobile home park investing with you. All right, so what do we like about mobile home parks as an investment? So I've invested in single family homes. I've invested in mortgage loans. I've invested in single family lots. I've bought a commercial office. I've bought self-storage and mobile home parks. All right. I'm trying to think if there's anything else in there. But the reason why we like mobile home parks so much is a couple different things. We really like the fact that the property type itself is very recession proof. See, we feel like the industry or the economy is not going to be looking too good. What's up, Tyrone? Good to see you, brother. He's on Instagram. Jump over to mariodatillo.tv and chat. Anyways, so we feel like the economy is not going in the right direction. And of course, we know that, recessions happen and cycles happen. Dang, I'm getting a bunch of messages here. What's up, guys? Somebody's even spamming me. I love it. That's awesome. So sorry, Ray. I'm not going to post that. I'm not going to put that on the screen. You can go spam somebody else. But all right. So what I was saying is the market is due for a correction. All right. There's no question about that. So when I say it's not going in the right direction, what I really mean is for people who have 9-to-5 jobs and do not have or are not in businesses that are going to do well in a recession, it could be very bad coming up pretty soon. And so what we do is we invest in property types that are going to perform well. What's up, Tyrone? Good to see you, man. Tyrone's a rock star. He's actually a pastor and a professional speaker, does like corporate trainings and things like that for big companies and everything. So good to have you around, man. Stick around. Good seeing you. So we invest in property types that are going to perform really well in recessions. And so I think we're positioned really well because mobile home parks are the lowest cost provider of housing that are non-subsidized. So these are like working people that just have blue collar jobs, typically that are lower income, but are, they want to own their own home, right? They want to have community, they want to have a great place to live, and they can afford it. And so that's why we like mobile home parks, because it is very affordable. And when the economy goes south, people start going towards more affordable options in housing, and we fill up. Historically, we fill up, which is awesome. So that's why we like mobile home parks, number one. Number two, when they're stabilized, they're actually very, very boring. Okay. Now, I wouldn't say completely passive, but I would say they are boring. And so, we get these properties, we turn them around, and then once they're stabilized, they run pretty smooth, and the management on them is a little bit less intense. I will say, when you take them over, though, they're pretty management intense if they haven't been run well for a long time. So that's another reason. Our expense ratio is also very low. So compared to other property types, our expense ratio is about 40%, give or take. Depending on who pays the utilities is going to determine typically who pays the utilities, who owns the roads, and trying to think. And I would also say the rent amount. If it's higher rent, you're going to have lower expenses. But hey, guys, jump over to mariodatillo.tv and click subscribe while you're there. But more importantly, chat with me live. Tell me what's going on, what you're looking to invest in. Hit me with any questions. Love to talk mobile home park investing with you. All right. So, yeah, I mean, basically our expense ratio is low, which means that we actually get to keep more dollars from the top line. More money from the top line goes to the bottom line for us to keep, which is great. What's up, Patrick? Good to see you. Welcome. Jump over to mariodatillo.tv and chat with me live if you want. Make sure, guys, to hit subscribe over on mariodatillo.tv. That's my YouTube channel. So another reason why we like mobile home parks is they're great covered land plays, meaning we can buy these communities, operate them, generate cash flow, and then over time, so at some point in 20 years, if we still own them at that time, we could redevelop them. It also creates a great second exit strategy or alternative exit strategy, because we can sell these properties or partner with developers if we ever wanted to redevelop them. Now, I'm going to tell you, we're not looking to redevelop our properties, but it's just a great alternative exit strategy that you can utilize. And so that's another reason why we like them. There's a ton of reasons, really, but our tenants have very little turnover. So basically, when our tenants move in, they buy a home. Think about like a residential community. When they live there and they own a home, they really don't move much. They're very sticky, okay? So what that does is it creates community. It allows us to build pride of ownership in these communities, and it allows us to have a lot of stability. Our rent doesn't do this. We don't have a lot of turnover costs because our residents move in, they own their home. Even when they move out, typically they will sell their home to somebody else, and all we do is we approve that buyer to get to move into the community, just like in a homeowners association would do. So what I love about that is we don't have turnover costs, make-ready costs like you have in, let's say, apartments or other property types. And also it's a lot less management intense, because when they move, they pretty much, they pick out their replacement, which is awesome. We don't have to go find the next tenant. All we have to do is approve that next tenant. All right. Hey guys, jump over to mariodatillo.tv. So those are a few different reasons why we like mobile home parks and why we continue to invest in them. We actually bought a park this week, so we're kind of like mid-closing because a lot of the paperwork is still circulating. Funds have been wired in, and we're just kind of waiting for the final funding to happen and to get notification from the title company that it's done. But we bought another park this week, so we're pumped about that. And today we had our powwow, which is kind of our planning call for our entire management team that is going to be taking over the property and handling asset management, property management, accounting, and all that good stuff. So that was pretty cool. We were able to have our meeting, start planning out the takeover. We've got a very long takeover checklist, which is a little bit daunting when you look at it, but then when you realize that it's actually very, very manageable, but also it's really good that we've got a checklist. Guys, if you're buying any commercial real estate or any real estate in general, but especially commercial real estate, you need to have a really good due diligence checklist. And then you also have to have a really good takeover checklist, because if you don't, it's going to be a mess when you close. All right. And also on top of that, if you don't have a good due diligence checklist, you're probably going to miss things and forget to look at things, and you could make some very, very expensive mistakes. Hey guys, drop in the chat if you got some questions or you want to talk about something specific. Just let me know in the chat. MarioDattilo.tv on my YouTube channel, and make sure to hit subscribe as well over there. It's free, of course, but that way you get notified whenever I do these. So anyways, we bought a park this week. Our takeover powwow went really well. And so now we're implementing, and it's pretty awesome. We are also, hey, one thing I wanted to point out, that deal was brought to me by somebody else, okay, a wholesaler. And so that deal was brought to me by a wholesaler who's actually brought me other parks. He's a super good guy. I'm going to probably do something with him on one of these episodes or something, but he brought me another deal. And so we actually partnered on this one, which was really fun. I like buying assignments, but for people that I trust or that I really like and I want to work with, we worked something out where he got an assignment fee for bringing the contract, and then because he helped with a little bit of the due diligence stuff, he actually got to own part of the deal with us indefinitely. So he's going to make some crazy money on that deal. And so I only say that if you guys have a mobile home park that's 50 or more occupied lots, hit me up. I'd love to look at the deal and either buy the contract off you or potentially partner with you, and we do some deals together. So I've got some pretty lofty goals for this year, and I'm going to be really transparent and tell you I'm a little bit behind on our target acquisitions for the year so far. So I need help. I need deal flow. I need more opportunities. So bring it. Let's see how we can do deals together. I'd love to partner with you or potentially buy a contract off you. So hit me up. You guys know how to get a hold of me. But yeah, looking forward to partnering with more of you on more mobile home parks. 50 plus occupied lots, pretty much anywhere in the country other than California, Illinois, and New York and a couple other northeastern cities. So we are looking at some more deals right now. I've got a deal in Oklahoma that we're working on. Hopefully that comes through. We've got another deal in Ohio that I'm pretty pumped about. I got to get an offer out tonight, actually, on that. And also we got a couple more parks in Pennsylvania that I'm looking at as well, because the park that we just bought, or that we're in the, mid closing on right now, is in Pennsylvania. So now we're scoping out all the parks around it, talking to owners, building relationships so we can build our footprint better over there in Pennsylvania. So yeah, that's kind of what we do. Like, we started out buying parks, or I should say farming areas. Hey guys, jump over to MarioDattilo.tv. You can see that on the screen. It's kind of weird to do it this way. Jump over there. It's free. It's YouTube, but hit subscribe while you're over there too. And drop in the chat what you guys want to talk about around mobile home parks or commercial real estate. I want some feedback from you guys. I'd love some questions to answer. Happy to talk about whatever you want. So anyways, what I was saying is what we started out doing was we would farm a market. So we'd say, okay, what markets do we want to target? And then we'd research that market to see if it was a market that we wanted to own in. The problem is it takes a lot of research, and also it takes, farming one market, especially for a property type like mobile home parks, you don't have that many properties, right? So you can, there's only so many parks in a given market. And so what we started doing is saying, hey, let's go wide. Let's look at parks all over the country. And then when a deal pops up, then what we can do, hey, what's up, Rob? Good to see you. And hopefully we can do some deals with you and do some JVs. He just commented over on Instagram saying he wanted to do some JVs. But anyways, so so now what we do is we spread wide. We basically look for deals everywhere, and then whenever we find an opportunity, then we do a quick dive into that market. We research the market really fast and say, hey, is this a general metro we want to be in? But then also, is this the demographics we're looking for in that zip code specifically? And that's allowed us to go much more aggressive and look at a lot more opportunities and buy more deals. So hopefully that helps you a little bit. Hey guys, drop in the chat over at mariodattila.tv. That is the YouTube channel, and hit subscribe while you're over there. It's totally free, but you're going to get a better live feed. And I can also see your comment, your chat over there, so we can talk about some stuff specifically. I want to talk about what you want to talk about, answer questions, whatever. Happy to talk any topics. mariodattila.tv. All right, so let's see here. I got some notes. So anyways, yeah, we're looking at some more deals. What's up, Jose? Good to see you. Jump over to mariodattila.tv and chat with me live over there. It's free, Jose. It's my YouTube channel. All right. So I've got some other notes here. Interest rates going up. And so I think what we're going to see is more deals coming across our plate that are actually at cap rates that are starting to make sense. Keep in mind, you're looking for about a 3-point spread between the debt interest rate and your cap rate, all right, to create a return that's pretty attractive, around 20% cash on cash return. So now that interest rates are going up, sellers are starting to, well, hopefully they start to realize that they're not going to get the price that they got last year. And buyers hopefully recognize that they shouldn't be paying the prices that they paid last year, because their yield, their cash flow is actually shrinking. And so that's important to take note of, and it's important to take advantage of right now. I'm starting to see properties have price reductions. That's something I haven't seen in years. And so now that we're starting to see price reductions, which is a slow process, okay? Sellers are still in la-la land, and so it does take some time for that gap. It's like we've got this gap of buyers are down here, sellers are up here. And the sellers want all this crazy money, and the buyers like, no, we can't afford it. And that gap is expanding, and what's going to happen is eventually it'll get far enough to where the sellers go, okay, I actually need to move my pricing more in line with what the market is willing to pay. So interest rates just went up, a 0.5 point. They're probably going to go up at 0.5 point increments again. I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not an economist, but I can tell you that they need to slow down the inflation as fast as they can. And that's probably going to take, bringing our economy to a halt, which could cause a recession. So, which probably will cause a recession. They almost have to in order to slow down the inflation that we're all seeing. They're saying it's like 8%, which is crap. It's higher than that. But anyways, so that's kind of what's going on. That's another reason why we like mobile home parks, because they are really good for inflation, benefiting from inflation. But yeah, so interest rates are ticking up, and I would be very conscious of what pricing you are looking at, what you're pricing things at. Make sure that you're underwriting deals with higher interest rates, because you're going to have a higher interest rate. You're not getting a loan at 3.75% on a commercial deal anymore. It's just not happening. So you need to start planning. You're probably in that 5 to 5.5 range, which sounds really high, but historically it's not. But you just have to adjust your pricing accordingly, and make sure that you're figuring that little bit higher interest rate going in, so you don't get surprised in your due diligence. The bank comes back and goes, hey, you're not, we're going to give you, we need to retrade, we need to renegotiate this interest rate with you last minute. That's never fun. Okay. So just plan accordingly. Let's talk a little bit about new homeowners. New homeowners in mobile home parks are taking a long time. So you really need to plan ahead, make sure your performas, your projections of how quickly you are going to fill vacant lots is realistic. Talk to some manufacturers that are within delivery distance of your property when you're in your due diligence process, and make sure that you've got your timelines correct. Otherwise, you could end up, expecting to add X number of homes in 6 months when really it's 12 months. And that could be very painful when it comes to meeting target budget and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we've got actually another 15 homes we're going to be ordering here pretty soon. We're kind of starting to piece together what we're where we're going to put them. But what we decided is that we're not going to wait till this last batch of 15 gets delivered. We're going to, now that these other ones are going to be here in a few weeks, we're ordering more. So we get those new ones in the pipeline, and we just got to keep inventory and keep filling lots as quickly as we can. So hopefully that kind of gets you to start thinking about maybe a different angle to mobile home park investing that a lot of people don't talk about. This is a very unique property type in the sense that it's like a hybrid. It's like a rental and a sales model combined. So you've got people who own their homes paying lot rent, and then whenever you bring in a home and you set it up and then you sell it, you're kind of like you're almost like a builder developer. All right. So it does get a little complex when you're filling up communities with both, capital and also just project management in general. Let's talk a little bit about raising capital. Hey guys, jump over to mariodattilo.tv and drop in the chat whatever you guys want to talk about. If you guys got some questions about mobile home park investing, I'm not staying on late tonight. It's like I said, I had a pretty hard workout before this, and I got some other things, including making an offer on a park tonight. So, but jump over to mariodattilo.tv, drop your questions in the chat, or if you want me to talk about a specific topic around mobile home park investing, happy to do that as well. So raising capital, there's kind of a few keys to this. I've gotten this question a few times lately, and it really, to raise capital, you've got a few different factors that you need to be good at and need to think about. Part of it, the first thing I would say is you got to start out with a good deal. If you don't have a good deal that's a marketable deal that people want to own with you, it's going to be very hard to raise capital. It's kind of like I've seen people get quasi okay deals in bad, okay or bad locations, and they try and push it really hard. And they struggle to get the capital lined up for it because it's just not an attractive property that nobody wants to invest in. So you got to start out with a good deal, meaning the numbers have to be attractive. The property needs to be attractive. Geographically, it needs to be attractive. You got to have a good deal in general to be able to raise capital for it. Secondly, you got to have marketable capital terms. So give you an example. You're selling something. You're literally selling an investment. You're selling a security when you're raising capital. And what passive investors, what limited partners do is they go out and they shop a bunch of different sponsors, a bunch of different general partners, they're called, and look at their deals. And then they say, okay, who's going to be able to provide the best risk-adjusted return? They're looking at the sponsor, their track record, the properties, all that for risk. And then they're saying, okay, based on that, also, what's the best deal? Like, what's the best return I can get and minimize my risk at the same time? And so you've got to think of it that way. They're looking at other deals. They're determining where that capital is going to be placed. And so you've got to make it marketable. The terms have to be competitive with what other people are doing. Now, especially if you're newer, your terms are going to be more attractive to an investor than if you're experienced and you have a really great track record, because again, it's a risk-adjusted reward. If you are, hey guys, jump over to mariodattilo.tv and chat with me live over there. Let me know what you got going on. Let me know if you got questions, and hit subscribe while you're over there too. It's YouTube, it's free, but you'll get a better feed over there too. So anyways, yeah, it's basically got to be marketable capital terms, where when they look at your deal and they say, hey, this looks like a risky or not risky deal, the return and the structure has to be attractive in accordance to that risk. All right. So again, if you're new, you're going to have to give up a little bit more in the beginning to be able to to attract investors in the beginning. And by the way, you need to get a securities attorney lined up for this. Do not take my advice and go raise money. Okay. You've got to get a securities attorney to help you do this so that you're doing it legally. All right. You can make a big mistake and it can cost you serious money or potentially criminal if you don't do things right. So it's very important to get a securities attorney. Anyways, so the terms have to be very marketable and attractive to investors, so then you can they can compare your opportunity to others, and that's how you attract them. Okay, so your terms have got to be good. And then you also have to build relationships really before you need the money. All right, a lot of times people will wait until they've got a deal before they go and start raising. They'll basically wait to raise money until they've got a deal. The problem is, not only do you have to educate the investor on the deal, but you've also got to educate the investor on you. And that's difficult. It takes time to build trust. It takes time to get people excited about what you're doing, to get people to get people to know you and understand your strategy and things like that. So you need to start building relationships very early on, and when you don't need the capital, when you don't have a deal. So when you've got that deal, they already know you. All right. Raising capital is all about building trust. They've got to know they have to feel and know that what you're doing, but also they've got to like you. I mean, they got to feel comfortable with you. They got to know that you're going to do the right thing by them and that you are experienced enough, or at least have enough education, or at least understand what you're doing. Okay. When you give them money, when they give you money, they've got to know that that money's coming back. All right. So let's wrap up here. I think it's a really good time, unless anybody's got a question that they wanted to drop in the chat last minute here. I did want to offer something to you, and whether you're watching this live or you're watching the recording, doesn't matter. You can go and send an email to Mario Dattilo X. Okay, Mario, Mario, Dattilo, Dattilo, which is on the screen, x@gmail.com, and just put in the subject line seller questionnaire. Now, whether you're looking to buy mobile home parks right now, or you are just investing in other property types, I would highly recommend that you get that questionnaire for me, because when, not if, but when a mobile home park comes across your desk and you don't know what to do with it, this is going to give you all the questions that you need to have answered in order to know if it's a good deal. So just shoot an email over to mariodattilox@gmail.com and just put in the subject line seller questionnaire, and we'll send you out a seller questionnaire free, and that'll just give you all the data points on a park. So then if you've got a deal and you either want to wholesale that deal, or maybe you want to partner with somebody on that deal, or maybe you want to take it down yourself, doesn't really matter. But the key is you will know if you're looking at a good deal or not, because it's got everything in there. It also has the quick calculation at the very bottom that will tell you how to quickly calculate the value of that property while you're still on the phone with the seller. So from there, guys, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you for all the input. Thank you for joining me, and go ahead and get that questionnaire. Catch you guys later. Make sure to subscribe, MarioDattiloShow.com. You can see it right. I'm sorry, MarioDattilo.tv, and get subscribed so that you get notified every time another one of these episodes comes out and I go live or put out a education episode. Cool. See you guys. Have a great night.